Probably ready to be to press.
I can hit the start broadcast
Okay.
and sharing. All right, here we go.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey everyone, it's Sam Crowley. Welcome to the webinar. Hey, before we go any further, let me just make sure. If you can type into the question box, you can see the first screen there, putting the fun back in funnels, yes or no. And you can actually hear me, yes or no. That would be a good thing as well. Yes, you can see the screen with the first slide, and yes, you can hear me. Type into the question box. Anybody. Gunner, you're awesome. You get the grand prize. Brian was right behind you. A trip to Buffalo, New York this January. Tickets in the mail. Boom. Hashtag winner. All right. Hey, everybody. It's Sam Crowley. I'm going to bring out Lori Mercer in a few minutes here. I want to welcome you. We're a couple minutes before the hour. If you know, I'll say this again when we get started officially. This is a real chill webinar. We're here to impart just a ton of content with you guys, not keep you more than an hour. Lori and I have been working together for the better part of probably 8 or 9 years, and we just decided that we want to bring this out. Lori runs my online assets as well. And I don't want to go into all that. I'm going to say it again in literally 2 minutes. But sit back, relax, enjoy the show. Ask questions. We'll categorize them and answer them, as best we can, as fast as we can. When it makes the most sense, we'll stop in the action here. But it's all about your online business, how to make some money on the internet, add some value, serve a bunch of people, and be cool. So if that resonates with you, you're on the right webinar. That's good. You're in the right place. So we're going to get started at the top of the hour and start rocking and rolling this thing. And use that question box too, as I mentioned. So if we don't get to the question right away, I will definitely get to it before we end the webinar, because we'll have a Q&A at the end of the webinar as well. So give it just a few more seconds here before we get going. It was a rainy day in Cincinnati, Ohio. Just had the animal and wildlife people out here. I got a raccoon on my back porch that refuses to leave at night. I'm not still fully embracing this country living. So I love the country living. I just never had a raccoon literally staring me in the eyes at 9 o'clock at night from the back porch. So we got the old trap set right before we got on the webinar. So those of you that were wondering what I was doing at 2:30 on a Tuesday, I was setting a raccoon trap. So if anybody guessed that, then you're really ahead of the game. Congratulations. You definitely win a big prize for that too. All right. Hey, let's get rocking and rolling. Welcome everybody. My name's Sam Crowley, founder of EverydayIsSaturday.com. I'm going to bring out my good friend Lori Mercer in just a second. Question, Sam, why are you doing an online internet marketing webinar? Aren't you a speaker? Aren't you a podcaster? Aren't you? Yeah, of course, all of that. I'm a dad, I'm a husband, all of that. I enjoy marketing on the internet, and what I don't enjoy, though, is selling things without integrity. And look, I'm not coming at this from a holier-than-thou perspective, but I think you would agree, if you spend any time on the internet, it's the Wild West out there. A lot of people engaging and selling a lot of different things, and they simply can't fulfill what they sell. True? Would you guys agree with that? And so I see a space for this, and I'm launching this part. I brought Lori on board as well, and I'm going to introduce her properly in just a minute. But I see a space for people who can deliver online marketing, training, and assets, and we're talking about sales funnels today, and do it with integrity to where the customer is actually happy and they got what they wanted. And boy, what a lucrative opportunity to build out a sales funnel in this day and age where, if you guys notice how I market, it's the same thing. It's the same template I've used for 10 years. It's landing page, captures email, goes to a sales page, sells a product, markets back to those individuals, and that's as basic and as simple as it gets. And that's why I promoted in the email that I really want to make this simple. I don't want to make it complicated. I know you don't want to make it complicated. I'm assuming that your knowledge about, sales funnels is not expert status and you came here to learn. and to see how you can market your business. So that's the background of why you're going to see myself and Lori doing a lot more. We've taken on a lot of coaching clients as well over the past 90 days, and we're going to give you examples of the people that we've been helping over the past few months. I see my buddy Jeremy Todd just jumped on. He's one of them, and a funnel that we're building out for him. So, hey, I want to bring out Lori. Lori Mercer and I met 10 years ago, online actually. Lori and I connected and started working together, and she was still in her corporate job, doing very well, making over 100 grand a year, great responsibility, a lot of travel. And Lori decided just a few years ago to go for her very own Saturday and start working in this business that we're doing now that she's created for herself as well. And that is helping clients build out websites and pages and integrate merchant accounts and click funnels and all of these different assets that people don't know a lot about. Lori quit her job, 4 kids, same as me, and so she's got a lot that she needs to account for each month, and the only way she's been able to do that is to just add tremendous value and be self-sufficient and make a lot of money helping a lot of people. So that's why I partnered with Lori. So Lori, come on out. Hopefully you're there. Are you there? I didn't even ask if you were there.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
So
let's see.
Here's the deal. I'm going to turn it over to Lori. Lori, this is your webinar. You're going to run it. I already know that you know that. And I'm going to chime in and ask you a couple questions and maybe add some context to different slides as well. We're not here to put a hard sell on anybody, nor are we here to bore you. We are here to educate, entertain, and to help you understand what this whole wild, wild west of online marketing looks like, and also how you can carve your place out. You absolutely can start today and build your niche, make money, serve a lot of people, and make every day Saturday. So, Lori, I'm going to turn the controls over to you. You can take it away, and I'll just chime in, or if you need me, give me a shout out as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Sam. Yeah, I mean, it is absolutely a team effort to put together these programs like this. And yeah, I think it might have even been 10 years, because I think I might have been, women always count by pregnancy. So I think that little girl there was, I was pregnant with her when you and I met, and just, dying to get out of the corporate world, just dying. And Sam was one of the first guys I ever connected with online who was preaching that message and saying there's more. It's not just life inside a cubicle, but if you've got a message inside you and you have people to serve, you've got to get there. So I made it. I did finally officially leave the corporate. It's been a little over 3 years ago now. I've done multiple things along the way. That's my husband and our 4 kids, and he is a firefighter. One of the first paths I took out of corporate was to build a website called firefighterwife.com, which blew up unexpectedly, and it sort of was eye-opening to me. I was out there, and this is the message I want you guys to start with. You have a message inside you, and getting it out there on the internet is the fastest way to spread that message. And so when I built Firefighter Wife, it blew up bigger than we ever imagined. We now have over 150,000 followers on that site, and it really first opened my eyes to, wow, this is really doable. So I do have a tech background. I'm your tech girl, and what I do now is really all the behind the scenes tech work that ties to all the in front of your eyes marketing that you need to build online businesses. I have a number of, I would call them wins, that I have helped build with other online businesses who have, 500,000 followers, right? It is really, really possible to do this when you get your messaging right, and when you find the right eyeballs to get onto that message. It's probably a short way to say it. So that's my story. Sam, anything else you need me to add there? I'll just keep stopping and checking, because you're so good.
I mean, look, it's a story about a Midwestern housewife who was also working and supporting 4 children while her husband was doing what, 24 on, 48 off, and Dan's still a fireman, So when people say I don't have time and I don't, that's not true. You do. We all have 168 hours in the week. So Lori was flying to Switzerland, on going to Europe and working these crazy hours, and her husband was a fireman, and they have 4 kids. So when I met Lori 10 years ago, it quickly dawned on me that when Lori decides to go for it, when she pulls the ripcord and jumps, she's going to be super successful. That's why she builds out my websites. The whole Momentum Club that I've been marketing, Lori built that whole thing out. She's going to be in Atlanta as a co-speaker at my event talking about this exact same topic. So if you're in Atlanta at my event next month, you're going to see Lori there. And so, yeah, it's another Saturday story dream come true, because this stuff actually does work as far as going for your dream. So, yeah, that's what I would add to that slide.
Awesome. Yeah, it does totally work. So whatever that message is, for me, it started with Firefighter Wife. Now it's How She Quits. It's teaching other women, other moms who are stuck inside the corporate and doing the rat race and just exhausted. How can you escape that? So there is a path. So let's talk about how to do that. The goals today. So funnels, what is a funnel anyways, right? Like that's kind of a funny word. Yeah. What does it mean? Basically, there's people out there that need to hear your message and will eventually pay you for your services, what you're offering. But you have to find them. You have to give them something to show your expertise, to build that know, like, and trust value of your brand. And it's more than just they glance their eyes over your Facebook or your Instagram post, right? It's that they say, hey, I want to know more, and I trust you with my email address. And you then begin a conversation with them over email and in other ways over social as well. But over email especially is where the money comes in. That's where people who ultimately know you and trust you will click through, reply to you, start conversations with you, and become your clients. Okay, so the goals today are to understand what's a funnel and how do you begin to design yours. And you guys stop me. Sam's here to keep it fun and light. I am tech girl, so I don't want you to be scared or bored. You guys have questions. Yeah. I'll keep my eye over there in the question.
We got tech girl, brainiac, gonna geek out for an hour, and then you got college dropout. We should even each other out pretty well. So. Yeah,
we'll work on that. Okay, so why a sales funnel? So email marketing is still king. As I said, people are going to click a link within a series of your emails while you are serving them. You're serving them with your message, that passion that's burning in your heart, that important thing that that you're going to kind of change somebody's viewpoint on something that day. And they're going to go, I need to know more of this. I need to have that next PDF freedom report. I want to talk to this person and I want to do more with them. The reality is that we like to post things out on our Facebook or, even do a podcast, right? Nobody's sitting there on a podcast waiting to click through and buy. I'm not sitting here going, what's the next thing that, I always like to reference Gary Vaynerchuk, right? Because a lot of people know him. He's really big. What's the next thing Gary Vaynerchuk's going to put on his Facebook page? Because I can't wait to buy. No, that's not what we're doing, right? But as he does offer a product, as he does go through an email series, as he does win me over, that's when I'm going to click through and make the purchase. So yes, nurturing. You have to do lead nurturing and you have to be collecting those emails to do it. This is why you need a sales funnel. All right, so what are the secrets to a great sales funnel? There's a list here. Irresistible offer. So you can't just put out something boring. It has to be something that's like, I cannot wait to have that. I absolutely need that offer. You have to have the right people coming to look at that offer. You have to write good copy. It can't just say something like, here's a free report. It has to say something that really grabs them and compels them and makes them want to click through. It has to have a great product name. So some people will tell you that you actually win with the name. Every Day is Saturday is a fabulous brand, right? Like you are all probably like, yes, I know what, just by hearing the brand, you know what that means. Like, I want that. I want every day to be Saturday. How She Quits, my How She Quits brand is very similar. You know what you're getting and you're just automatically attracted because of the name. A catching headline. Or catchy. See, I'm
catchy,
not in.
catchy.
catchy. Catchy headline. So can't just say, here you go. It has to say, stop everything and change your life now in the words that pertain to your offer. And then a clear call to action. You've got to lead the horse to the water. Click here to download. Download now. You have to show them what the next step is. So copy. If there's nothing else you take away from this, copy is one of the most important things you could be learning.
And you know, one other thing, Lori, on number 2, sending the right track. If you could send 1 million people a day to a landing page where you're going to capture an email, but if that landing page doesn't have these components, you're done. So I would definitely stop and take notice of these first 3 points, because so many people, they'll buy Facebook ads or they'll send traffic from all these different places to a landing page that is just terrible. That doesn't, when Lori goes through all of these points, it doesn't hit on any of these points. It doesn't have an irresistible offer. It doesn't have great copy. And when Lori goes through the rest of these points, just think about, if you currently have a landing page is defined as you're going to capture a name and an email. That's it. And in return, you're going to give away something of value, an audio, an ebook, a PDF, something along those lines. So just look at these points, and if you currently have a landing page, does it have these components? Because if it doesn't, it's like having a car maybe, but it doesn't have the proper engine, or it doesn't have other components that makes it really run well.
That's right. That's right. This is really the secret sauce. Like, there's nothing more than this. You have to have this secret sauce. Number 4, hey, it has to technically work. So this is where I come in. A lot of people, I don't know how to do that. It's easy. Links work. There's no dead ends. You don't click on something that doesn't go somewhere. And the expectations are clear. I asked for this and I got this. You're playing pro ball, right? How many times have you gone to a landing page and you think you really want it, and then you click through and it's not there, or it's a 404 error, whatever, the link's broken. It has to work.
And those links cannot work for a number of reasons. I think last year alone, my site got hacked at least 10 times. So I finally hired a company to go in there. I pay them like $50 a month just to make sure that nothing happens on my site. Why I wasn't doing that before, I don't know. But links, there's a lot of dead links on landing pages that don't go anywhere. And your prospect, that's immediately in their mind that, okay, well, the rest of their products must be kind of jank too, you know?
That's right. That's right. Put out the right perception. Okay, and then lastly, back to what Mr. Willy Wonka was telling us on the other page. It's more than just a page and an email. It has to have follow-up. You have to be nurturing. Good marketing is actually more than 50% of the work you're going to do when it's actually done well. And the one thing I want you to twist around your mind, because a lot of you are here probably going, but I just want to serve. I just want to coach. I have this message and I need to help people. When you market well, you are helping people already. That's kind of the spin that I put on everything I do, so I don't feel like icky about sales and marketing. Because the way information products work, online marketing, you're giving so much value already that people could go get a win from your free offer. And they get such a good win that then they want to come join you and do more. Okay, so it is more than 50% of the work, but it is serving. All right, good with this one?
Good with
Any
that
more
one.
points? Awesome. Now we're going to look at a picture. So here's a picture version, right? Sales funnel overview. We got traffic coming in, right? That traffic could be coming from Facebook. So let me back up and say this first. What Sam said, the obvious. Sometimes tech girl skips over the obvious. You have a landing page that has a free offer with an email opt-in form. Step number 1 is you've got to get people to that page. So you have to be driving enough traffic. You have to be driving the right traffic to that page. Step number 2, when they get there, is it the offer they want? The copy, the words we were just talking about, is the design, is it doing a good job of drawing them in? I've seen some really bad offers still work because the page is so attractively designed. You just want to click on through, right? There's a whole lot of art and science to the mind and what we're drawn to, what we're attracted to. And there's the email delivery, email follow-up series. Step 3, then you land them on a thank you page. So they get the emails come into their inbox, and after that, they land on a thank you page. Sometimes it has an additional offer, sometimes it doesn't. If you guys are just starting out, it's totally okay to have a thank you page that just says, I'm so glad you are here. I hope you enjoy this. Because now you've got their email. You can always go back and market to them over the email. But if you do have a product, this is the first time to test your market and say, all right, you've opted in. Do you want a little more? Here's a little taste of what I have to offer. Here's a little taste of a $47 ebook or video. And at this point now, you want to say, okay, you liked me. You gave me your email address. How much do you like me? this is a way to qualify even your lead even more. And then lastly, so at that point, there's maybe another email series, right? For people who purchase, there's another thank you page. And the last thing you want to think about is the words in these email follow-up series. The copy here is just as important as the copy on the pages. Are the headlines making them open the emails? Are the click-throughs, the call to actions inside the emails making them click on through to that blog post or that additional video or that additional freebie that you're giving them? What is getting people to engage and to act? Because ultimately, you want to bring results to their life. So if they're not opening your emails, if they're not clicking on them, then you're not being as powerful and impactful with your message as you probably could be.
Hey, Lori, what do you think the shelf life of an email is, where people, they stop paying attention to your emails and they might open one a month now as opposed to every one you send out?
Ooh, that's a great question.
I mean, I've seen Mike Filsaime and people like that back, and they say like 6 months, and then they're kind of they might buy down the road, but in that first 180 days, even the first 90 days really is where you have that captive audience. And I say that because this whole webinar that we're doing and this series that we're going to be launching on a regular basis is to train people not to be intimidated. You see a lot of people out there getting 100,000 email list, 1 million email list, 10,000 email list. Look, you can do just fine with a few hundred people on your list to start with. I mean, keep in mind, you're starting from probably zero or somewhere around there in online dollars. I would guess most people on this webinar are not making $10,000 to $20,000 a month with their email list. But you shouldn't be intimidated if you're not either. That's not anything to be intimidated about. You can have a podcast, your Facebook, your Twitter, YouTube, all of these social media platforms, as well as maybe buying a little traffic here or there. Going to a well-qualified funnel, you're building a good list. You can do well to earn income. I'm talking a few $1,000s a month with less than 1,000 people on your email list. So I just don't want anybody to be intimidated by these big numbers you see online where people have all of these email addresses, thousands and thousands, tens. Well, I can tell you from firsthand, it's not, that's not where the money's made. The money's made in what we're talking about today is the copy, the email follow-up, and that shelf life of a list. Lori, I was just curious to what your thoughts were on it, because I think it might be like 90 days before they kind of tune out and go to the next guru.
No, I think it absolutely is about 90 days because we do cleansing. With my clients that have even big email lists, we do cleansing when it gets out past 90 days and 6 months and they haven't opened an email. You don't even want them sitting around your list because it makes your list kind of dirty and the open rate not as good.
Yeah.
So you want to keep your list fresh. And also, I mean, just think about it. When somebody first gets introduced to your brand, it's like that, you use the dating and the marriage analogy, right? Like you're sort of dating like, oh, I'm kind of interested in this person, and you're paying attention and you start falling a little more in love with their message until, you give them your email address and maybe you give them $47 and then maybe you go all in with a, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 program. And, you're all the way in with that person, that message, that brand, that product. That generally happens. The higher dollar the product, the little bit longer that it takes, but I don't think it's longer than 3 months at all.
Look,
I think you're right about that.
If we're talking about the funnel you're looking at right here, it's a basic funnel, and they go to that one-time offer, that additional offer after they opt in. It could quite honestly be right then and there in the first 10 minutes they send you your $47 or $97, or in the first week. If they're going to send you any money, it's going to be in that first courting type of relationship. That's why you want to have sometimes, not necessarily to get a funnel launched if you're building just an email list, but they would certainly, it's not out of the realm that someone's going to send you money right after they opt into your funnel.
Yeah, that's right. If your message is spot on, that's absolutely a true statement. And this is why you get into funnels where you see, you've all been in them, where there's an opt-in and then there's additional opt-in and one more click and it's another this and another this, because when you find the right person and they're buying into your message and their credit card is out, they're going to keep buying into your message.
Yes.
That's the prime time. The other thing we could say about the half-life, right, the shelf life of a email funnel is the further down the nurturing sequence you get, probably the less likely you're going to get them to click, right? The the conservative people, they don't buy in until later down the line. But the truth is, you want to get your good email opens, your good headlines. You want to get your conversion as soon as the email process is possible, because the further down the line you go, the harder it gets.
True.
Cool. Okay. Should we look at some live funnels?
Hey, they look familiar. I don't know if Katie's on this. I know Jeremy's on the call. I see Jeremy. See Katie here. She's probably not. Okay, good. All right.
Okay.
Yep. These are a couple of coaching clients.
Yeah, these are some clients that that we've worked with, and the truth about these guys is that they had like literally zero. Like Katie didn't even have a website or anything when she started, right? Like up here, this is the very first piece of internet real estate that she's having for this brand and this message. And Jeremy, and he, I don't know if, can he chime in the chat? I don't know how that works, Sam. I'll just leave it at that. But, you know, Jeremy had a site, but wasn't in love with it, wasn't in love with the message, didn't have the compelling headlines. And that's what we're working through with them. I'm going to go ahead and let's see what happens when okay, good. All right. So in this case, Katie has a coaching business. It's a brand new coaching business. She is getting off the ground. She has a great message. She has a really attractive personality. She has people that follow her online in, you know, social media and whatnot. People come to her for help. Like, she is built to be a coach, right? And a lot of you are probably in these shoes. But how do I take that? How do I turn that into a place where it's official, where I'm not just, you know, on the phone with these people that come to me for help, but it's an official coaching, consulting, helping people with these services kind of business. And it starts with first getting their email address. So what we did was design, take Katie's brand, her message, her core message, and think about her ideal audience and figure out why or what is it that's going to attract her ideal audience. So she doesn't want to attract somebody that doesn't fit the mold of a person that she can bring results to, right? There's people like that out there. We wanted to attract the people who are, in her case, high achieving women. Maybe they're just stuck at a super detail point in their life. They're going through a dip, going through a valley. They need a good kick in the behind to move that over. And you see, we're not even totally done with the copy here. We're playing this.
This is the first draft. And I gotta mention, Katie we've been working with Katie, who's just a great spirit. I mean, just a super vibrant personality. Katie has no product, no brand, no image on the internet. If you Google her name, you'll never find her. We're literally building this out from an individual who is currently working in a job, wants more out of her life, and so she is brought Lori and I on to build out her own sales funnel. And this is what you're looking at, is the first draft. That's why you see small blurb about expertise right there in the middle and things like that, because we're still working through and sending drafts back and forth to Katie. This is how fast it happens, though. This is after literally one Zoom meeting with Lori and I. That's it.
Yep.
We came up with this. We're building out her back end. We're doing a survey and assessment. That's why it says take the assessment. We're going to build that out for Katie, and she's going to be off and running with her own funnel in the next couple weeks here, starting from absolute. I want to reiterate this, because a lot of people I speak to, like, Sam, I don't even know what I should talk about. How would I even capture email? Well, that's what we do. That's exactly what we do. And that's where really the integrity comes in, that would you like someone who actually does this and does it for a living and isn't on to like the next shiny object that we're chasing? No, Lori and I love getting on the phone with clients and working through what their intellectual property is. And it all starts with your life experience. What were you doing 20 years ago? What were you doing 20 days ago? What do people tell you that you do really well? You know, and these are my questions for you, the people on the webinar right now, and those of you that are going to watch the replay as well. What is it people have told you that you do really well that you've always kind of pushed to the side and said, well, thank you, but, well, thanks. But for me, it was the motivational part. Like, Sam, wow, you're really energetic. You're really motivational. Yeah, but that was me. I was always like, yeah, but I'm kind of this corporate guy, so, you know, blah, 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 blah. I never really accepted it until I said, okay, yeah, I'll be that guy. I'll be a speaker, trainer, seminar leader, and that's when I want you to step into your greatness. So I just want to reiterate this. I know I'm beating this point, but I want you to understand, Katie, last month, nothing. No brand, no image, not even this photo. She went and got the photo taken recently in the last month. She is on fire. You'll see her inside of our group, the Everyday Saturday group on Facebook, posting all the time. She's got her podcast. I want you to be inspired by just that face that you see right there of somebody who has hope now that she did not have just 60 days ago. So that's why that slide is important to really zero in on. Lori.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the brand, the logo, this sort of red, white, and blue style, like, Katie, what do you want to feel like? Like that whole Wonder Woman thing, right? Like that's the feeling we're trying to get. That's what we want women to feel. That's what she wants her brand to feel. All of that came through just one meeting with her. So, and I'm going to go ahead and answer. Marilyn asked, could you please talk about how to take payments? I mean, it's really straightforward. It's there's a couple ways, a couple payment gateways. You sign up for an account. It costs you nothing. They hook into your ClickFunnels, your Entreport, whichever tool we pick, and literally you can take money immediately. It's our team building one of these forms that instead of saying take the assessment, it says place an order, and it goes to a credit card form. So I don't want to trivialize that, but it's one of those things that we don't want you guys to get stuck on those steps, because then you lose momentum with your message. This is about all the steps that can be done to keep momentum and keep things moving forward. Her head's all wrapped up into her brand, her message, her results that she wants to bring people. So she's not sitting here stuck going, how do I make that button, make that blue to light blue? That's not where she's going to get momentum.
And Marilyn, also, we share with you, when we build out the funnel, we share with you the resources you need. You go get them, and we tie them all together. There's nothing, you don't really need to worry about it, right? That's a fair statement, Lori. You know, they get the, for example, if you use Stripe as a payment gateway, we just tell you how to set it up, send us the login, and tie it all together.
Yep, exactly. Any tech question, I'm not afraid of any tech questions, guys.
She's not. I can vouch for that. She's not.
We'll figure it out. Okay, so here is Jeremy. So Jeremy did have a page that he had put together on his own. Not bad if you're DIYing it. I encourage that because you're taking action steps. But to get a brand around it, to get these right words, right? Jeremy can drop positive bombs everywhere faster than like I can even get the request out of my mouth. He's got all of these ways to spin every situation to something positive. And as we were brainstorming, we talked about a whole lot of things. And I said, do you know what's really big right now is lists? Like people don't have time maybe to read 72 pages of PDF or listen to a 35-minute video, but you give me a bulletproof list that's going to,
yes.
Yeah. It's going to bust 27 negative thoughts I'm having. Like I probably had before breakfast, 27 negative thoughts. I want it right now. And so this is an example of a headline that is going to grab that. We're going to put, negative thought 1, 2, and 3 in his simple spin here. And then who's not going to read that and go, all right, I need the next 27, send them on. And give them their email address, right? You can see this one's even more drafty because it just finished this morning. Same thing, new brand, some new logos we're still playing around with there. Jeremy's gonna record a new video to drop in here. This can be an iPhone video. Don't let videos scare you. You don't even have to have a video if you're not a video person, but this could be an iPhone video. It's that simple. Let's see, what else do we wanna look at? Do you want to look at Hans?
Yeah, take a look at Hans. This is good too. This will be the last one we'll show them. Just to give you an idea, these are individuals who started with zero brand online, okay?
Yep. And Hans has got a boring business like mine, I'll call it. He and I are kind of intellectual people, right? But super important things that you need. So the trick with a brand like that is how do you take something that's boring and unsexy and make people want it? Well, we sort of call it out as that. This is boring and unsexy, but if you do not do it, you're going to end up in trouble. Hans has a great story of recovering from bankruptcy and food stamps and those kinds of situations, and really knows how to put the risks, eliminate the risks behind your business. And so that's what he's giving here. Doesn't have a product yet except for coaching, one-on-one coaching. And let me just add, that's how my business started. If you don't have a product yet, you can have a product right now. If somebody walked up to you and said, I want to pay you to teach me how, we'll just use this example. Will you come look at my business and tell me where I have risk and give me the steps I need to do to eliminate that? I'll pay you $1,000. Okay, here's my PayPal account. Let's get started. That's how easy it is to know what you're selling. So when you're in client services, one-on-one business, as your consultant or a coach, it's the fastest way to get started. I was selling my tech services before I even had a website, and I was making websites for people, right? Like they knew I could do it, but I didn't have a website that said Lori Mercer Technology Services until down the road, because it all starts with that relationship.
And it's about, we were talking about this at one point too, it's about how you show up online, right, Lori? I mean, if you show up in your other online assets on Facebook and Twitter and all over the place as a negative Nelly or woe is me and oh boy, let me tell you about everything that didn't work out in my life today, and then you decide to launch any kind of coaching and consulting business, what do you think is going to happen? People are going to remember the 75 negative posts you put out there. And now just because you got a landing page on the internet, that doesn't absolve all of that. You got to show up. This sales funnel that you're going to have built online with the sales page and everything, you got to show up every single day online on Facebook and wherever else you post as the thought leader in your space. And if you're going to charge $1,000 to coach somebody, then they're going to want to know that I'm getting this person. I can use an example, and I can't use a name, but there's a person who I'm connected with on Facebook who all they do, car broke down. Does anybody have a secondhand couch that we can borrow? We were at the Goodwill this weekend. And look, my heart breaks for people who don't have financial resources, okay? I'm not judging anybody about money. But what I am saying is, on the other hand, this person's like, hey, taking new clients. I got 2 spots open, only 2 today for anyone that needs a website built. I wouldn't go near that individual because the problems they have in their personal life, they're bringing into their professional life and showing me that there's issues there. That's all. So I'm just saying, be careful how you post online. As Jim Rohn used to say, tell your doctor about your problems and tell the marketplace about where you're going. And then when you have a funnel built, you're going to be there. You're going to already be 9/10 of the way there because people associate you with the thought leader in that space. So I hope that makes sense. Your confidence is going to be what overcomes your lack of knowledge or your lack of experience in whatever business you decide to get going in. Your confidence is going to make up for all of that. Just show up.
That's right. That's right. And for me, it was showing up as firefighter wife and literally getting drug into the tech implementation because people said, will you show me how you did that? Will you do this for me? And you guys, I did it for free for longer than I'd like to admit before I finally started charging for it. So if you have people asking you to do something, there are ways to make it monetizable. And it starts with the one-on-one, I'm going to serve this person. I just want to show a couple other quick examples of funnels because a couple reasons. They're highly successful and it gives you a different view, right? So this is a funnel that I built for somebody called the Mob Society, Moms of Boys. It's Christian authors and speakers. And if you don't want to make a video series or a PDF download, this opt-in is just 5 emails. They wrote 5 emails. You opt in, it comes to your email box, 1 email at a time. This page alone right here had 14,000 subscribers in a week. Now, let me tell you 2 reasons why that happened, because we're all not there and it's not about the numbers, but there's some really important things about why this sort of interrupted people where they were and it was so attractive. One is the picture. The picture was highly, highly attractive to their audience. And the funny thing is we threw this page together so quickly because there was just some other things I'm gonna tell you in a second, that we saw this picture and we were like, oh, that's it. And we just dropped it out there and it turned out being the best attractive, most, best converting thing we could have done. The other thing is it's real simple and clear. I know what I'm getting. 5-day praying for boys challenge. Yes, please. I got boys. If you're a mom of boys, you know what I mean? Like you're in on this, right? Like girls are tough in their own way, but boys. The other thing is the timing. And so you need to think about this a little bit in your market. This came out initially right after the 2016 election. So you remember what happened in early November. The internet was a nasty place. Like, we were all like, I'm never going on Facebook again. It's awful. You're unfriending people. You're blocking your sister-in-law, maybe your mother-in-law. Right? It was ugly. It was an ugly place. But Thanksgiving was coming. And so we had this window of a week, like kind of where the election stuff was like, the energy was starting to dissipate a little bit, but it wasn't yet Thanksgiving. And we decided to squeeze in this prayer challenge. We're like, it feels like it's time for a prayer challenge. And threw this out here and had 14,000 opt-ins in a week. Now, they have about 250,000 followers on their Facebook page. They've been around for a long time, so that's big. But they had about 40,000 people in their email list. And when I say 14,000 opt-ins, most of those were brand new opt-ins. Okay, so they grew their email list by like 10K from this challenge. Now, don't be worried about those numbers. My point here is that there's simple and fast and effective ways to get opt-ins out here. In case you're starting to get a little concerned about, oh, this is too big. I don't know if I can do this. This is just another view on it. Is that good, Sam?
It is. Love it. That's a very powerful story. Very simple. Goes along with this simple theme.
Yeah. Gosh, I have so many other examples, and we can come back to them if we need to. Remember when I said you win with the name? Positionofthemonthclub.com. Just go look it up. It's this couple down here. They are a Christian marriage. They're not counselors, they're Christian marriage coaches, and they have a lot of online resources. They have an amazing podcast, and they talk about sex more than other Christian coaches out there do. And so it makes it very attractive. Sex does sell. It's a little tricky to sell online in the right ways because Facebook doesn't always like to promote those posts. So we had to come up with a clever way to sell their membership without using the word sex.
And what do they get for sponsorship money on their podcast? Did you say that? Tell me.
Yeah, so let's see, they get about 300,000 downloads a month. And they are kind of re-upping their partnerships for their podcast. And they expect to get between 3 to 5K a month in sponsorships by the end of this year.
Beautiful. Okay. I know you told me at one point, but that's awesome.
Yeah. They're also, their main package that they sell, that's the moneymaker, is marriage coaching, because $5,000 for an intensive marriage coaching session is cheaper than divorce. And people that are ready for it, they're going to pay that. And
wow, is that a pain? Wow, what a relationship that is to the amount of money you just said. And boy, if you could equate that to whatever right now you listening to this webinar, what would it cost somebody to not have your information? Man, that is a great point, Lori.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so there's a lot of other examples on here that you can, you guys have questions, or if there's any, go ahead and type in the comments. I'm going to move on, but if there's any particular type of funnel you want to see, I've probably done it and can show you an example and we can talk through it.
Cool.
All right, so let's go through this list. How do you get a funnel wrong? Because most of the funnels that I go to out there, you can pick them apart and find something wrong. My husband will tell you I'm good at picking things apart, so that's a little bit of my gifting. But you got to be hard on stuff if you want it to get really good, right? That's coming from a wife point of view, right? We'll just leave that alone. It bodes well for business. Don't send the wrong traffic. If you're not sending enough traffic, so some people have this like killer opt-in, this killer offer, and I look at their stats and I'm like, but you've only had 72 views on that page. Where are you promoting it? How often are you promoting it? Like, that's your problem. You had 25 people opt in, but only 72 visited, and that's a pretty darn good opt-in rate. So make sure you're sending enough traffic. You're offering something they don't want. This is a tricky one. It's so easy to do this. You have to offer something that people crave. In Hans's case, I don't want more boring work to do on my business. Like, never. Nobody wants more boring work to do. But the pain of not wanting to have a problem is enough to make me click through and buy the problem solving part, or download the problem solving part. So make sure it's what they want. Writing bad copy, boy, we covered that. Doesn't address their needs, doesn't clearly state what they get, has bad grammar. I'll tell you guys, I had a lesson this weekend that I placed a Facebook ad for our nonprofit, and it wasn't converting. It wasn't converting at all. And it was a very meaningful message with a big marriage partner, the nonprofit being Firefighter Wife, by the way. And I ran it by a few people. In the past, I would have gotten very emotionally attached to it and been like, why doesn't anybody want to support this? This is such a good cause. What's going on? I've matured to the point with my funnels now personally that I can put it in front of a couple of people and say, does this make sense? Should I use different words? Do you see what's going on here? And we got a couple tweaks to the words, and it instantly started getting better traction. So it's going to take a few rounds to get through finding the right copy. Boring, uninteresting, and not unique. I've been using a word a lot more, and that word is disrupt. Like, you have to disrupt people's thinking. You have to disrupt the patterns in their brain and have them look at things differently. And that marketing tidbit is no different than it was in 1920 and 1850. I mean, you can look at marketing through history, and the people who can disrupt are the people that get attention, right? So just resonate on that with your brand. Bad design, like Sam was saying, you know, if somebody uses purple and orange, I'm probably not going to even opt into their page because it's just unappealing. It's not attractive. You have to have a design that's pleasing to the eye. Too much copy, bad colors, it looks unprofessional. Please don't use Comic Sans font anywhere. Don't use Papyrus. Like, those are fonts from like 2002. I'm just saying, as an example. It's probably not something you're thinking about, but those are things that sort of date you and make you look unprofessional. I'm sorry, Sam, if I've offended your slides at some point with those fonts.
No, it's just your geek out level is off the hook right there. It's like, you know, I don't even know what you're saying, and I'm laughing. Like, okay, don't use Comic Sans. It's like the geek level went off the meter right there. You need to come back.
I'm coming back. Okay, but somebody on here knows what Comic Sans is, and they're laughing with me. I just know it.
Good Lord.
And don't do something that's out of left field, that's different from your brand and style. Inconsistency, right? So if you go back to my Praying for Boys challenge, see, Cliff knows what Comic Sans is.
Cliff,
yep,
yes,
Cliff.
Yes. Congratulations, Cliff. Got the joke. Jill got okay. All right. I'll shut up now, because if two people found it funny, then I'm gonna clam up.
And I'm just happy because I was funny one time today. Okay.
That's great. That's great.
If my Praying for Boys ladies tried to position something like Position of the Month Club, oh my gosh, it would blow up, right? Like, those are they're both nice Christian organizations doing their own thing, but that's so off-brand and off-style for them. So that's what I mean by inconsistency. There has to be this ongoing, know, like, and trust. I'm just warming up to you. I'm learning to love you more and more and more. It's like if you're dating, let's go back to the dating analogy. You're dating somebody and you've had like 6 dates and you're like, love them. You're going to the country club, you're golfing, you're playing tennis. And then they show up on a Harley in leather, and you know, you're like, what happened to this? Right? It's like out of left field. Maybe there's people out there like that. Maybe that's bad, but
yeah. Hey, Lori, let me just take a quick station identification. Sam Crowley along with Lori Mercer, and we're going the Every Day is Saturday, putting the fun back in funnels. If you're on this webinar right now, then you have a desire to build your brand online, earn income online. You have a desire to be talked to like an adult with integrity and somebody that actually cares about what you do. All of that. So that's kind of what we're doing today. We're sharing our information about how we build out funnels for our clients. Yes, spoiler alert, if you hang around to the end, we're going to give a couple people an opportunity to come on board as our next client, so that's great. If not, no big deal. We want to over-deliver the content, but I don't want to disappoint anybody who got on the webinar thinking we wouldn't present an offer for you as well. So it's my better half here in the Everyday Saturday Tech team, Lori Mercer, going through some really great content. You guys enjoying this? Can you type into the question box? Is this valuable information? And look, if it's not, it's not. But if it is, please shout it out so we can do better next time on these webinars to make sure that this is exactly what people are looking for. Okay, cool. Awesome. Slides available after? Sure, we can make the slides available after. Well, the webinar is going to be available after, so that has the slides in it as well. So thanks, guys. We appreciate it. Always good to know that you're listening, that you're connected, and this is of value to you. So, Lori, back to you.
Well, you know what? That's perfect, Sam, about, hey, we are going to sell you something at the end, because authenticity, I think, is one of those disruptors in the industry these days. And it's, this is how this works. But if we weren't preaching, if we weren't drinking our own Kool-Aid, we would not be over giving here all this information. You have to give, like we're giving, showing you how to build this funnel. There's enough here if you guys want to go build the funnel yourself right now.
Yep.
There totally is. And there's ways to do it faster with us. So I love the authentic. Why can't I say that word?
Authentic, Lori. It's authentic. I think you're still stuck on the whole Comic Sans thing. So
I am.
You got to move on from that. Don't let that throw you.
When my engineer brain kicks in, the words sometimes don't come out right. So back to that. Okay. So authentic. That's what we're here for.
Authentic, yes.
By the way, when people come to me and want to build a funnel, I won't build a bad funnel. Like it bothers me. They're like, no, just build this. It's going to make money. I'm like, yeah, but I don't like tricking people out of their money, because you know what happens when you build a bad funnel that's just a cash grabber? You end up having unhappy people, a bunch of refunds. You got to sleep with yourself at night going, dealing with that. There's people out there who will build funnels like that. And I refuse to, because the ultimate reason to do this is to serve and to give. That's the bottom line. So I'm off my authentic soapbox now.
Preach.
And actually, with you. Yeah. Okay. Actually, it's kind of back to you, Sam. So I want to go a little deeper. This is where Sam is a master. I can do all the tech stuff, but Sam is really the master at the words, the message. Like, how do you make your message really resonate? And part of this whole thing that we haven't talked about enough yet is stories. And so, yeah, this was a big, boring slide about stories, but that picture says it all, doesn't it?
It does. It does. It's funny, as kids, we were told stories when we were, the big storybook our parents read to us. We wanted to know what was on the next page, and flip the page. And it's no different. I'm going to be 50 years old. I still love a good story. That's why we go to see movies. We, even the ones that we know how they end, we love a great story. And that's no different in your online business. You must become, be a master storyteller would be great, but at least understand that your customers buy because they see themselves as the person in that story. I hope that makes sense. Like in my story, Every Day is Saturday, the enemy is the man. It's the corporate giant. That's the enemy. And I'm the protagonist. I'm the hero. I come in and save the day, make every day Saturday. So think of that in terms of what you do. Who's the hero? It's you. Who's the antagonist? Who is the villain? And paint those two together and tell the story. And look, the villain could very well be themselves, the person they see in the mirror. If they sell fitness or they sell anything along those lines, and that could be that. Go ahead, Lori.
That's perfect. Okay, now I'm going to dive into this, because what are we at? 3:50, so I don't want to keep people here too long. This is the basic elements. Now that you're overwhelmed, this is a step 1, 2, 3. You need a simple text, graphic, email opt-in page offering a free item. You need an automated email that delivers that, and you need a thank you page. That's it. Basic to begin with. The thank you page could also deliver the offer. The thank you page could do more. You could go beyond that, right? So if you want something more advanced, you could have a video or even a 4-part video series on your opt-in page. You could have a quiz or an assessment like we showed you with Katie's. The prospect might be delivered different results based on what they answer. The thank you page can sell them the product and additional offers, stacking the offers like we were saying before. When they're ready to buy this, there might be a complimentary something that they're also ready to buy. And then a longer sequence of follow-up emails over a period of 30 to 90 days. So if somebody's trying to do this fast, I often tell them, let's just get this basic lead funnel built with one email. And you can write an email a day to add to your sequence if you need to do that. If you can't sit down and write a dozen emails in a sequence, just get this up and make a commitment to yourself to write one email a day to add to your opt-in, right? Just break it down into bite-sized parts. basic steps. So this is mechanical, you guys. The art part is the copy and the offer. The funnel build itself is mechanical. Who are we targeting? What's our offer? Study and write good copy. If I could tell you one thing to take away from here today, if there's one thing you need to do to improve your online marketing, it's writing good copy. Everybody needs to be able to write good copy. Or you have to pay copywriters to do it for you, right? And this is for everything. It's from the opt-in page, the upsell page, the thank you page, your entire email series. Hire a good designer. Don't get stuck tweaking a silly button when a designer can do that in 30 seconds. Some people can do it themselves. There are ways to use yourself, but most people are not in this camp. Somebody said they're a tech dinosaur. Renee's a tech dinosaur. Yeah, there's probably a lot of you on this call that are tech dinosaurs. It's totally okay. Then you set up the email autoresponders, you send the traffic, and you measure the results in a non-emotional mathematical way. The same way that I told you about my failed ad over the weekend. And my husband even noticed. He's like, wow, normally that would have made you so upset. I'm like, yeah, I just looked at it as math. I'm like, something's going wrong. People aren't clicking through. What's the problem? It's math. The results are math. You fix what's broken, you put more traffic through the funnel and figure out until you get the conversion to the rate that you want it to be. So that's it. It's pretty basic. When we work with you, oops, I went too far. When we work with you in the first session, these are the points we'll go through. There's a homework sheet for you to kind of brainstorm and think about before, but by the end of the first session, we know the target audience, their pain points, what your free offer is going to be, some ideas for upsell offers, and we're going to know what tool we're going to build it in. It happens that fast. It's a 4-week process. Can you build a sales funnel in 5 days? Yes, you totally can. I've built them in 24 hours. I built them in 2 hours, actually. But you have to be prepared, right? You have to know all these components. You have to know what your offer is. You have to have your logos. You have to have all those pieces. But a 4-week process gives you time to kind of let it develop. We brainstorm, get the concept in the first week, draft in the second week. We finalize and polish everything, get the emails written in the third week. And then in the fourth week, we're going live. Get the domain set up, the funnel's finished, you're ready to press go and start sending traffic. That's the method. Okay, so any Q&A, and like the comparison to math, thanks, Jill. So one of the things that's different about how we like to implement together, and we do this directly with each other. Sam trusts me with all components of his website funnel. You know, we need logos, we're doing logos. We need PDFs, we're doing PDFs, videos. When the way to move fast in the online marketing world is to have a tight, high-performing team. And actually what's funny about that, ironically, is that that's how I've operated in the corporate world too, right? You hire a small team of highly talented people and you just rock and roll and get it done. This is opposed to going, I got my graphic designer on Fiverr, I got this VA over here doing the PDF, I got a video person editing my video. Now you've got moving parts in every direction. This is implementation pulls it all into one piece. And by the way, that's how you keep momentum, right? You keep the next action moving forward. So our funnel build includes all those pieces. It includes the copywriting, the graphic designers, the PDF, the strategy, all those pieces together. We've left it. It's like herding cats. Yes. I've done it other ways before, and it's just frustrating and inefficient for everybody because you're constantly waiting for somebody to get back. I work with people all over the globe, and now you've got time zones that you're waiting on. This way, we got one game plan and one method to get it all done. Sam, what do you want to add about that?
Well, go ahead and click. If you go to finishyourfunnel.com, this is where I wanted to walk people through when you go there. And again, I hope you guys got a lot of great information, regardless if you allow our team to build out your funnel now. A couple things. Don't move forward in this process unless you feel as though you do want to show up. You got to show up online. I keep saying that, but it's not as obvious to a lot of people that, look, you're going to have a funnel out there now. You need to step into who this person is, because this is going to be like having a Ferrari now parked out front of your home. You get in, you drive it, you act like you own it. That thing's got to go 180 miles an hour and it's souped up. That's the way your funnel's going to build. And if you scroll down, Lori, on the page and and just take a look at it's $5,000. Our team will build out everything. You've got 3 coaching sessions. I want to go through the offer. The first payment's $2,500 when you sign up. 3 coaching sessions to design your lead attracting funnel and irresistible offer. So we get on the phone, we work with you, 3 different coaching sessions, up to 5-page PDF download created and branded just for you. You own it, do whatever you want with it, but we're going to use it on your website as a lead magnet. We're going to build out your logo, your brand design. If you don't have that, fine. This is where you have the benefit of our entire team doing it. We're going to write a 5-sequence email campaign outline for you as far as how to communicate. If you remember that slide about how important it is to speak to your audience after they opt in, or you're going to lose that opportunity to sell. An email opt-in landing page in Ontraport or ClickFunnels. That may not mean anything to you. Don't even worry about it. I'm just saying the couple of those, I use Ontraport now. I just switched to Ontraport from Infusionsoft. I use ClickFunnels. If you go to mymomentumclub.com, for example, that's an Ontraport page. I use ClickFunnels for landing pages. We're going to have a thank you page with a call to the next action that's going to be built. So when somebody logs in, puts their name and email in rather to that landing page, they're going to be met with a thank you page. Thank you so much for requesting your copy of my PDF titled whatever the PDF is that you decide or we decide to call it. And then there's a call to action. What's the call to action? Do they click here to join your Facebook group? Click here to follow you on Twitter and Instagram? Click here for your one-time offer, your $37 digital course that you can help create as well and get that launched. And then we'll help with you. If you don't have a domain name right now, we'll help you research that and set everything up. You don't lift a finger technically wise. You don't do, if you're technophobic or you don't even want to deal, I used this term on my podcast last week. Do you want to be doing nickel work or do you want to be doing dollar work? All right. The nickel work is all the stuff you're going to be chasing VAs around the internet on Fiverr, on Upwork, on Elance, and all these other places, on Facebook. Hey, does anybody know how to put together this with that? That's nickel work. What you're looking at right here, it allows you to focus on what you do, and that's dollar work. That's create content and whatever it is you want to do. If you want to be a speaker, trainer, seminar leader, if you want to build out digital courses, that's where you should be spending your time, because that is, and you want to write this word down, that is your zone of genius. So what I want everybody else to do as well, listening, is write down my zone of genius is. My zone of genius is. And it should come. I'm not looking for the right answer. I'm just looking to see what your answer to that question is. My zone of genius is. Write that down. Put it into the notes on your cell phone, whatever it is you need to do. And when you look at that, how far away are you from putting that out online and getting people to follow you? Are you 800 miles away from that? Or you feel like you're right at the doorstep? Either one of those, we should be the team that comes in and gets that message out and allows you to market now online, building your email list, selling products online. If you're doing nickel work, then you're chasing down logos, graphics, websites, WordPress, ClickFunnels, Kajabi, all of that. And I'm telling you right now, you're running east looking for a sunset, okay? If you're doing dollar work, you're focused on zone of genius. Those 3 words, you have to own those words. If I was on stage right now and you guys were in the audience, I would make you repeat after me, zone of genius. Because some people look at this like, well, geez, I need to $2,500. Yeah, that's so you can go do what it is that you do best. You don't do this best. Lori does this best. I do this best. This is what we do all day, every day. This is our zone of genius. So I want you to embrace this and say, yeah, man, I stepped up. And there is limited availability. That's not some false scarcity thing. There is. Lori and I can only handle a couple of clients a week because we spend time on Zoom calls. Literally, Lori, myself, and the client get on a Zoom call and we share ideas and we mastermind and we go well over the allotted time till you feel as though, wow, man, we really wrung all of the creative juices out of that rag and we're filling the bucket up. This is great. So it's a lot of work on our part, and I'm there to inspire you to get ideas out so we can create this amazing funnel. Lori is there as the mechanic to put it all together, and we deliver it to you within 30 days on a silver platter, so now you can go do that dollar work inside of your zone of genius. Does that make sense, everybody? I just want to make sure that you understand that. because that's really in itself what this is all about. Lori, I saw a question there. I don't know if it came up or not. Can you help me with? And I didn't see the question.
Yes, it was Ron. Can you assist me here in the Netherlands also? And yes, so it's just a time zone detail. Yep. We work with people all over the globe. There's nothing different about having a web page in the Netherlands than there is about having one in the US. We get your merchant account set up as it works, right? And in Netherlands, sometimes there's little nuances like that, but that's just a technical detail. I mean, gosh, I buy things from around the world all the time on websites, so no problem with that.
Yeah. So, and Lori's also, as I mentioned, going to be in Atlanta. So if you don't currently have a ticket to my Atlanta event, October 27th and 28th, you come on board as a funnel client. We'll bring you to the Atlanta event. We give you admission to the event at no charge and spend some time with you talking more about what it is your zone of genius is, Lori and I.
Yep. And let me just add what you were saying, Sam, about the limited availability is not that's not a hype. I mean, part of that is because we've designed Saturday lifestyles. We have 4 kids. We're not working 100-hour.
8 when you add them together.
8 when you add them together. That's right. And, that's honoring our missions, and not just to our families, but to clients. I know what our ability is to put people through this system. And that's what it is with, a genuine do the work well kind of approach. So, but it's also a good lesson in the funnel study, right? If we did not say that, you would not know that we had to put that there to be crystal clear on, how this works and what's going on. So it's a copy lesson at the same time, right?
Yes, it is. No, you have to practice what you preach, Go ahead, Lori. I'll let you take some of these questions as well.
Okay. Nana says she has to follow. Okay, she'll follow up. Awesome. Thank you, Nana. How much traffic do you need to make it worthwhile? Since my niche is quite small and I'm only looking in Netherlands, can my audience be too small? Well, it depends on the size of your product. So this is what I like to, it's just math, right? If you want to sell something that only costs $10, then you're going to have to be driving thousands of people to it to make a living. If you want to sell something that costs 100, less. Selling something that's cost 1,000, it's less. So let me tell you, let's see, my How She Quits brand, for example, where I'm coaching some women out of corporate and to become freelancers like this. I launched and I only had about 300 people on my list. The product was $1,000 and I had 8 women in the first session. So out of 300 people, I found 8 women to pay $1,000. And I think that's not a pretty bad return since it was on the side, right, of doing all of my client services work.
Lori,
so that's a
how
good
were you
example.
how were you able to sell $1,000 to somebody without any experience? So I'm kind of if I'm on this webinar for the first time and I haven't even made my first $1,000, or maybe I've kind of had hit or miss success, where'd you get the confidence to coach somebody and make them pay you $1,000?
Yeah, and it's software consulting. Oh, software consulting is a high dollar field, Ron. It's a high dollar field. And not everybody has that talent. I mean, you're doing what I'm doing. You're taking this tech stuff and you're making it simple for somebody. So where did I get the confidence? So number one, the system works, right? When Sam keeps saying you got to show up, when you know your system works, then there's nothing going to stop you from getting it out here. And I know that I have a system that will help women out of corporate and to become freelancers. So all I did was build an opt-in, go to howshequits.com and you can see it. I started running Facebook traffic, cold Facebook traffic to it. And I built relationships over email and social. And then I had webinars like this and began to exchange a little more personal messages. And then I offered sales calls. So if your first thing you sell is $1,000, a sales call, don't be afraid to pick up the phone and call them. Right? They can get on the phone with you for 30 minutes. And when you get the right people to that phone call, you're going to have a high success close rate. So 95% of the women I've talked to, and I'm not talking hundreds, I've talked to a couple dozen at this point because I've done it a couple rounds. 95% of them say yes. The other 5% probably never should have been on the phone with me. They slipped through the system. right? So it was all about designing my funnel to attract the right person and to get them wins in their world, until they got to the point that they said, yeah, I want more, and will you show me how to do this? And it doesn't just stop there, though. They got results in my program. So now they're telling other people about it. Okay, so does that answer your question, Sam? I mean, it's about bringing results.
Yeah, and just having confidence in that zone of genius that you can do it. So, and that's why I think having a funnel is even more important, because you can back everything up by just having, say, hey, go to xyz.com and look at me there. Look at how I represent myself online. Look at what the intellectual property and the assets I have tied to that domain name right there. And it is it's such a better thing to have than to say, yeah, I do coaching. Well, what's your website? Well, it's I have an AOL email or a Yahoo email, and I don't really have a website. It's in progress, or a WordPress site that's kind of half-baked. This is for the people that are really looking to say, I want to look how I feel, and I want to look how I want to present myself online. And it's important. It's very important.
And so Ron is selling software consulting. So I'm going to have to guess here, Ron. You can type some in the comments there, but you probably want 5 to 10 to maybe 20 clients a month at a higher dollar rate, and you want your opt-in to narrow down your ideal client. So you're not spending a lot of time cold calling with the wrong people, but you're really attracting the right kind of people who need that software consulting that you can get on a sales call, or even when you get good, when your funnel's good, you don't even have to get on a sales call. Because if you find the right offer and you clearly explain it, you can sell it without a sales call. That is totally possible. So that's sort of what I'm reading into your funnel there, Ron. And since I'm a software geek, if you wrote something more specifically, I could probably even throw a headline or two out at you that might make sense. And anybody else has questions, go ahead and drop them in there. I like doing this on the fly coaching.
Yeah. Any other questions you guys have? We want to make sure we keep it's about 10 minutes after the hour, but we're not going to leave if you still have questions. I want to see at least a couple people come on board this week so we can build out more funnels. More funnels equals more excited and happy clients that are out there making every day Saturday. Okay, that's the whole goal, is for you to live the life on purpose. And one more question. Okay, I do have software consulting on the side. What's a good headline, Lori?
Okay, so I'm just going to make something. Let's just say that you are software consulting in the space of CRM. Say you're building CRMs for small to medium sized manufacturing businesses in the Netherlands. I'm just making that up because you have to get more specific. If you're throwing a little fishing line out into the ocean and you're putting a random bait on it, it's going to take you forever to catch anything, right? But if you've got this specific little pond like Netherlands, and even more specific like medium-sized manufacturing businesses in the Netherlands who need CRM solutions, and now we got to think about the bait that's going to catch them. So what are they struggling with? They're probably struggling with data cleansing. They might be struggling with which tool they should pick, pulled in by VCs for startups to vet the software startup technology. Oh yeah. Okay. Awesome. So here's what I would do. I would say, oh, I'm getting Cliff and Ron mixed up. You guys are both in software consulting? Okay. Awesome.
Who'd have thunk it?
Boom. All the software people today in the house, right?
Let me answer Darren real quick too. Darren, just go to mymomentumclub.com. That's when you come on board there. Your ticket to the Atlanta event is free. mymomentumclub.com. Go ahead, Lori.
Okay, so Cliff, let me answer yours. I would do something like the top 5 mission critical software apps every startup needs. Or you do a reverse case study, or you do case studies, right? Like the case study of 3 startups, the disaster, the success, and then never got off the ground. I don't know, like you just, something that's really compelling, and you demonstrate your expertise in a PDF, or even if like writing is not your thing, you demonstrate it and make slides like I did. This is what a lot of tech people do. Make slides and talk through them. Make the slides not just text, make them picturesque. And it has to be something that a startup a VC or startup wants to look at, like, oh yeah, I don't want to make those mistakes. You can even date it, right? So I was just going to start talking about this. Now's the time for you guys to get your funnels built, because starting to build a funnel in November, you're going to lose traffic because people's brains are going to be all over the holidays. You need to build your funnel now so you can get momentum into the holidays and ride that out so that you've built a relationship. So at the first of the year, when everybody brings out their credit card to start something new, you're already nurtured in their mind, right? So right now for VCs and startups, I happen to have a client who did venture capital funding, and I built his funnels. And we, in this part of the year, we knew that venture capital money dries up. So for the startup people, we were saying, this is what you need to be doing in Q4 to have your technology in place by January 1, so you can skyrocket your business. So you give them even a more dated, specific plan like that. Okay, Ron, is that good, Cliff? Go ahead and ask another question there. I'll answer. It's about the Sofron configure price quote software, working with several modules for 5 years. Oh yeah, okay. So this would be like, I don't know that one specifically, but I imagine it's specific. It's sort of like SAP. I went deep in the SAP space all those years I was spending in Europe doing corporate work, and there was a module that was a lot about building price quotes for sales reps. So a good opt-in might be the top 10 best practices for making a bug-free sales quoting tool with Sofon, or however we say the name of that. Because what do salespeople, like salespeople are notoriously not very tech savvy. And you need to make software that is like stupid easy for them and can't be buggy, and it can't have these workarounds. And there's all these little tricks around that you probably know about. Hey, don't make a lot of rules around character limits and all caps and lowercase and using commas and little detailed things like that that's going to save somebody's tail. So you're probably selling, by the way, to a CIO or a customer service team or something like that in an organization. So they ultimately, what they want to, I always think about the ends in mind, keeping the end in mind. They want to know how to make their sales people more productive, and they're probably bleeding money if they don't have price control around their quotation. Sam, you can answer this from your corporate sales side too. Yes. If they don't have price control around what they're quoting, then they're probably losing profit on the quotes themselves. So now they want to implement a price quote software that's going to make things a little more uniform, and it's going to make them more profitable. But at the same time, it's going to be culture change for the sales reps. Yep. And they're going to, oh, that's beautiful. How to build it properly and easy for the user, the 10 golden rules. If you are a tech person who can speak the language of user pain, you are the best kind of consultant that's out there.
Let me ask Ron a question. Ron, are you ready to step up now? Are you coming on board with your funnel? Wait for Ron's response there.
Okay, I see. Now I see something from
Darren. Yeah, I'm a chef with a hand about to actually. Let's do it, Ron. Because Ron, what you're witnessing right now is exactly. I love that this is happening right now, Lori, because this is exactly the exercise that we go through on a Zoom call, where we find out what's your passion. I mean, Ron, I don't even know, like, when we get on the call, I don't know what your passion is when we get on that call. Quite honestly, you might even tell me what the passion is. And you and Lori are talking on a level right now, to be quite honest with you. I might grab the Merlot because this is seriously geeking out. But when you come on board and we build out your funnel, this is exactly the type of exercise that you and Lori and myself will engage in to pull out what your passion is, your purpose. So you're not saying the wrong thing to the right people. And conversely, you can never say the right thing to the wrong audience. So this is a great exercise in what actually happens when we're on our calls.
So Ron, that's a great thing for you to research also is what the licensing, like if you are some sort of certified tech for them, what you're allowed to say. But your skills, what you're getting at there with usability and everything, can expand beyond just the software. It
Oh
may
my
be
God.
that you have a
Yeah, go ahead, Laura.
right.
I'm jumping out of my chair at Darren's question. I got to jump in when you're done.
I know. I can't wait for that one too.
Okay.
Ron, you may have a bigger consulting business on your hands than you realize because your skills may be actually broader than just that single piece of implementation software. And when you build a funnel and you start attracting people, you're going to know that. You're going to know who's attracted to that message, and it's probably going to open up new product options for you.
Lori, I'm exploding.
Go. I'm reading Darren's question now.
Yeah. Look, there is. I went on virtualcookingschool.com, for example, just to see what that was. I'm not even sure that is what I'm thinking of doing with Darren when he would come on board as a funnel client. But Darren, let me tell you, virtual cooking, virtual recipes, how to take your intellectual property right now, everything you know about cooking, and share with videos. And oh my God, I mean, you're at chefdarren.com. Let me just check that out real quick. You can even type that in too, Lori, if you want. Chef. Well,
yeah, let's look at that.
Chef Darren
okay.
with an I. Chefdarren.com. DARIN. Darren, you are in an amazing niche to be able to sell your intellectual property, okay? Because you can have... Is that you at the end of the table, Darren, with the apron on? Yes. All right. That's awesome. Darren, look, you can capture these sessions you're doing right here. Every one of these can be videotaped and put into 3 to 5 minute videos inside your members area. And I'll let Lori talk more about it as well. And in addition to that, you can have like a silver, gold, platinum membership program. Silver gets a little bit of the sauce, no pun intended. Gold and platinum get maybe a 1 hour. You could do a private Facebook group with these people, a 1 hour private coaching session with those that pay more money. Look, cooking is huge. My wife has watched 17 million episodes of Chopped. Anything that's got Bobby Flay in it, all my girls are around the TV watching. This is huge, man. This is a great topic to monetize. And it's very easy to do. It's very simple to do. It's all just video hosting inside your membership area.
Just, Darren, I want you to study. Oops, sorry, I totally typed your website in wrong. I want you to study this lovely lady named Erin Chase, she's actually the lady who pulled me into the consulting work. She runs everything on Entreport as I do. She and I built out this brand together. And it's lower dollar, like you said, but she has a couple thousand subscribers to her program. Before she built this, she built $5 dinners, which I'm not going to be able to, I cannot remember her URL. I'm so sorry for that. We don't have them linked. Okay, look up Erin Chase $5 dinners and My Free's Easy and study what she's doing. But here's the difference I see with you, Darren. Your brand is classier and higher dollar. So she got into this industry, $5 dinners, like cheap budget. Like she's got all these mommy budgeters and I'm trying to save money. Your brand is, how do I make that fabulous meal that I just ate at that restaurant in my home gourmet kitchen? Yes, Darren, you are higher end. And I have not seen a higher end online version of this, which makes me feel like there's space in the market. I haven't looked for it, but makes me feel like there's space in the market, and that if people love your brand already in person and you bring it online, you're just making yourself more accessible to people to do what you already do well. Suggestions on pricing, I don't know, I got to think about that, how to make it worthwhile.
It depends on what your assets were. I mean, what the availability to you as far as the number of videos and how it was all laid out. Yes, Cliff, we build out membership sites with videos as well. That's not part of this sales funnel package that we're talking about right now, the $5,000 one. But we have anything you can do online, we do it because we've done it. So yeah, membership sites with videos, easy peasy, done. Not part of what the sales funnel is. It's in addition to the sales funnel build out. But yeah, we could do that. So gather them up.
But Cliff, you've already got the content for a freebie, because what you would do is take, 1 or 2 of those videos and drop them out there for free and see if that's what your audience wants, right? Like you've already got part of your freebie built. It's just how do we position it as a freebie? And then maybe you pull them in and offer them I don't know what the price point is going to be for you, but $97 to $197 product with your video programs that are already there. And yeah, like Sam said, the building out that product is not part of this. This is just the funnel part. But yeah, my team does. I mean, we built this whole thing, everything that she's doing there, her whole membership thing.
Yeah. And Darren, you're welcome. My pleasure. I'm happy that you left your job. That's great. Another everyday Saturday success story. Try to get yourself to Atlanta. Would love to meet you, get a picture with you, sign a book for you, have you meet Lori. We can talk more about what you can do online. There's a lot of different ways you can go with your website. So try to get yourself to Atlanta, and that would be awesome.
It's only like a couple hours.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Darren, you have the least excuse of anybody, geographically speaking. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Ron said something. So Ron is Netherlands, right? Passion is to help people, businesses to improve, make life easier. With a big, what is in it for me beneath it all? Let me give you, can I give a short lesson on that?
Yeah.
You guys know when I left corporate, I was first doing firefighter wife. And because I was so burnt out on doing Excel, doing SAP, being drug around by the corporate rat race, I filled up a passport in 5 years when my babies were little, right? Like we had au pairs, like it was just crazy town. And I needed more meaningful work, like even more than being home with my kids, maybe not more than that, but a close second was that I needed more meaningful work. So when Firefighter Wife blew up, like we leapt at it. And because of my corporate job, I worked for a couple of years, hardly making anything, getting our nonprofit off the ground. I a little bit regret that, because actually, if I hadn't been so blocked and burnt out by the corporate and the technology, I could have been making a better income sooner and actually serving the nonprofit better financially. But now, I'm taking my corporate skills that are higher dollar and able to do this business, and with much more fun clients. Like none of you guys are talking about boring kinds of things. Like even Ron with the SOFON and the licenses, it's about helping people and meeting a pain point and choosing to do so. So if I had to do it over again, I would have started closer to my zone of genius in the tech space, and I would have been better off for it. So you can take your tech zone of genius and still spin it so that you are really helping businesses and people improve and make life easier. The other thing I'm not saying about there is that not every feel-good niche is monetizable. So, the firefighter space wasn't as monetizable unless we were selling 1 million t-shirts a month, and we didn't want to be in the t-shirt business. But first responders don't have big paychecks, and they get a lot of things for free, and we've given them a lot for free with a nonprofit, but it doesn't turn out to be a monetizable niche that replaces a corporate income, right? So just a little behind the scenes lesson of that's more business building than funnel building, but my funnel could have proven that to me if I had built it right the first time. How's that for insight?
Hey, there you go. Put that. Oh yeah, which reminds me, go back to the slide that's got where they go to actually have their funnel built. I think we have one last question. Gunner, monetizing a Bigfoot membership around a podcast. I had Gunner on my podcast. What a great story about going after Bigfoot. And Gunner, it's interesting. It's monetizable, but there's got to be an angle to it. You're going to have to cater to and advertise to the people in that community, the people that share that same interest. So it's targeting Facebook groups, going after Facebook ads with certain keywords, building the funnel out for that. The lead magnet, the ethical bribe, the free giveaway that you give away on the landing page, it's got to be like a PDF that's very, just off the top of my head, the 7 myths associated with, or the secrets of, or the unknown fill in the blank most people never heard of, and things like that. Where people can at least get an opportunity to sample what it is that you're talking about, that your niche is all about. And so I'm not going to lie, that's not up there with as easy as Darren is to monetize a cooking, or Ron with the software, but it's monetizable. But you got to find the right market. That's all. And look, there's millions of people out there. We're not just talking about North America. We're talking all around the world. And as Lori mentioned, we have funnel clients and coaching clients all over the world. So it doesn't matter where you live. We just jump on a call that's convenient for the three of us in the different time zones. Lori and I just happen to be in the same state in Ohio, but clients can be from anywhere.
Yep. And I just want to stress again, because I kind of glossed over this point, this is the time to get your funnel built. before the holiday rush, where you're probably busy and want to be spending time with your family. The online traffic slows a bit for online businesses in November and December, but you can nurture that audience through November and December and hit the ground running with a, hey, I'm going to change your life on January 1 kind of mission. So getting your funnel built out now and tested is really prime time, so that you can have a complete 2018 with your systems in place.
No, that's right. That's right. I don't know a lot of people that want to be doing funnel build outs in November, December. Look, you can do it. I mean, if that's what it needs to happen, that happens that way. You're better off doing it now and hitting, this is the new year. It's the end of the summertime. Kids are back at school. Everybody's refocused on what it is they're doing, why they're doing it. And now is the time. You can have your funnel done by this time next month. So that's up to you. Remember, nickel work versus dollar work. We want you to focus on the zone of genius you're in. That's your dollar work. Okay. Lori, great stuff. Thank you so much. Great webinar, great content. We went 90 minutes, over-delivered with the content, which I hope everybody appreciates that. If you have any questions, fire them at me, sam@everydayissaturday.com. Ron and the likes who have committed to coming on board, we look forward to scheduling your first intake call with Lori and myself, and we could do that as soon as you're ready. That's another thing. As soon as you're ready to jump on a Zoom call with Lori and myself, we're going to schedule it, get it done, and have your funnel complete in the next 30 days. All right? So, Lori, awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I loved all the questions, guys. That's totally my favorite part. Great questions. Thank you for engaging.
Yes, and my favorite part was as well. And so it's always great to have user engagement. That's what I love best about the people who follow the Everyday Saturday brand is you're just so smart, passionate, respectful, and you bring great questions. So this isn't our only webinar. Lori and I are going to do this on a regular basis, hoping to do it weekly, actually, just to try to get out there and lead with integrity and to show you what is possible with you, with your brand. And don't be intimidated by what we call sales funnels. Get out there and embrace it. So on behalf of Lori Mercer and the whole Everyday is Saturday team, you guys have the best day ever, and we will talk to you soon. Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.